Hey guys, Derek here again. I'm back for the round 2 episode of the war that I had just covered in the previous video where I was talking about dragon raids, and I wanted to separate this one since I have 4 GoWiWi raids and then only 1 hog raid, but it's really effective, so let's go ahead and cover those here quickly with you guys. Let's start from the bottom up. So let's just take care of this hog raid and show that one first, and that's actually versus number 20, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at those 4 GoWiWi raids that we did here. Thug did a really good job. In fact, he had 2 3-stars, guys, so he really helped us out a lot in this war. So I want to go highlight his attacks because he has 2 different types. You know, he did 1 GoWiWi and 1 hog. We're going to pause right here quickly because I just want to show the base. I mean, we've mentioned it before. Anytime you see a base like this with, you know, very tight-knit bases, not a lot of spacing between the buildings. I think he's only got maybe space between here. I think that's the only space he has. Everything else looks like it's just, you know, squares. When you see that, guys, number 1, I would just go with hogs. That's the best way to go, especially if it's T-Hall 8 and lower. T-Hall 9 is when it gets a little bit trickier, even with max hogs. And max heal spells, they're just not as effective for some reason. The queen is usually the one that does the most damage there, so keep that in mind. Here we go, guys. So let's go see what he does. First thing, of course, when you use hogs, guys, you gotta lure the castle. So that's what he does here. He does a really good job of that. And then takes him all the way to the camp up top. Alright, we'll fast forward here and he takes care of business. I like how he goes ahead and slow it down here. He goes right after the wizards. I like to do that, guys. Go straight for the wizards instead of just spreading your clan class or troops out or anything. Beautiful job there, guys. He tested that spot out. Really important. He tested the spot out instead of dropping just a ton of pods, okay, which is really good. Now that he's done testing spots, now he can go drop them. Now, he drops them in 2 groups. I would have preferred if he maybe just dropped all of them now, but it ended up not hindering him at all. So there he goes, sending 1 group. Some of them go left. Now the rest are just going to go right. These down here in the bottom, he's not going to heal them, but you know they're going to do some damage, but that's fine. But now he's really got to protect that top cluster, and that's what matters. And he does a good job there of healing them in time. They do a pretty good job here. Let's go ahead and fast forward a bit. You'll see at the very top he's dropped his king and his queen and his clan castle, and they're already taking down those perimeter buildings. They've got no defenses to really shoot at them anymore. And then the hogs go ahead and take care of them. They all pretty much meet up at the same side of the base, basically. And now they move in unison throughout the base there. Some hogs just went flying. That was kind of cool. Let's follow them through the base. Now the hogs, he's got 1 heal spell left. And boom, they get hit by a bomb right there. So he decides, let's go ahead and heal them, which is important. Because once they have to go face that king, you know, you're going to want some nice and healed up hogs, okay? So they go face him, they whoop his butt, and now they can go to get to the T-Hall. And since they're the best bet for your T-Hall, you really want to get them healed right before they're going to be engaging with heroes, guys. So he does a really good job there, and that's a perfect 3-star, perfect example for you guys. Alright, next up, what do we got here? GoWiWi. What do we have? What do we have? Let's try number 15. Alright, that's the first one. And this was Thug. In fact, the same guy we just watched right now. He goes in 3 stars, number 15 with GoWiWi. Taking a look at this base, guys, you know, a couple things. You'll see that there's holes in these walls, right? Just holes right there, even behind this elixir pump, going into the clan castle, behind this dark elixir drill. When you see that, even behind this archer tower, when you see something like that, guys, and you know this basically you think maybe hogs, but when you see that, that's a sign that, look, man, GoWiWi or even GoWipe. I like GoWiWi more than GoWipe simply because it brings so many more troops, and I like outnumbering what defenses can aim at. And when you have GoWipe, you know, P.E.K.K.A.s and golems, they take up so much of your whatchamacallit, they take up so much space in your troop capacity limits that in the end, you know, the defenses have the opportunity of just aiming at less troops versus GoWiWi. You have a lot more troops, and I think that helps out. But either way, he realizes this and does a good job here. So let's start at the bottom. He does one good thing that I like to do, and that's spread your golems out. He immediately comes and backs them up with the witches so that they can already start bringing out troops like crazy. Skeletons all over it. Then he's going to finally bring some wizards and some wall breakers. Got to get the wall breakers in there, and they do a good job there of getting them in. But once they're in, you know, it looks like it's like a fragmented base, but it really isn't. So they pretty much can go wherever they want at this point. He does a good job of healing. Like I always say, heal the weak troops. Don't heal the golems. Heal the wizards or rage the weak troops. All right, that's what's gonna help you out, in my opinion. He brings his heroes outside the base, which actually I'm a fan of that myself, because the queen can shoot over the walls and start taking out some of those outer buildings. And you know, a lot of times troops get stuck. You know, your wizards and your witches, they're getting stuck inside of the base, and so you can just go ahead and bring your queen on the outside or your king on the outside and start eliminating some buildings and attacking those outer layers of defenses that are taking your other troops longer time to get to because they're busy, you know, hitting a wall. Alright, so pretty much here, as you can see, man, he's still got a golem protecting those wizards, which is important. He still has his heroes hanging on by a thread. Both cannons are engaged with the golem, which is bad news because, you know, he's got his heroes coming, his queen's coming, and they're just gonna go ahead and take him down. And he's still got some troops there. And finally, the giant bomb takes him down, and then little golemite in front, a whiz takes it down, and that's it. Alright, so that's a really good 3-star. Look at him, he's got, you know, that's level 1 golems. He brought 6 witches. I like that setup, guys. The 2 golems, 6 witch setup with when it's like a lower defensive T-Hall 8, because like I said, you overpower them just in sheer numbers, and that's what he did there. 2 rage, 2 heal guys, so keep that in mind. Level 5, you know, a pair of level 5 heroes, so you know, they're not extremely strong, but it's still very effective. What else we got here, guys? That was Thug on number 15. What else did we have? Oh, well, I attacked number 14, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. This is actually a very similar base design, okay, except he fragments it a little bit different. Now, let me just put you in my mind for a second here to show you how I utilize GoWiWi and how I decide to where am I going to attack from and all that stuff, okay? So this is what I'm thinking, okay? You'll see this top set of buildings, alright, that has, in fact, let me get out of this and go to scout so I can hit some buildings here. Alright, here's a line of buildings, right, where this and that. Alright, so troops can freely move through there. Then troops can freely move through here, okay? Alright, and then you'll see over here, troops can freely move through here because he's got a hole right here. So now, I already know I can get access to that whole part of the base, to those areas. Now I'm spreading the troops out, so defenses can't just focus on one area. I can put my golems in those areas, and then I know just by sheer power, eventually they'll come here to this center. Okay, so that's how I scouted the bases. Is trying to figure out where are my troops going to walk through, where do I have to break walls to get them through, so that they can get through the base. Okay, so that's what I look at when I'm looking to scout a base and decide how and where to attack. So I start here, number 1 and number 2. Boom, 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 boom. I only go with 2 golems because sometimes when you drop the 3, it doesn't work out that well. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I just realized this was the other one that I went this way on the bottom side. I went 2 up top, and then I brought 1 down here to take care of these bottom buildings. Okay. And then what I decided to do over here was bring my heroes, if I'm not mistaken, on the top side to go this way. It wasn't my golem, there was 2 heroes on the top, and it was my golem over here to get my wizards to take on these outer buildings, and that's what ended up happening here. Alright, the witches are coming out, clan castle's out already, my skeletons are just, you know, pretty much going to be able to distract them. Down here at the bottom, you'll notice that, you know, I still got the wizards are still alive. I've got some golemites in front of them now, so they're still providing some protection from them. Alright, and So pretty much the whole base now has been overrun. Okay, so we'll pause here and go back to what I was thinking about. As I mentioned, we want to take care of these buildings here first. Then I've got another group of troops I can take care of this buildings. Over here I drop heroes to take care of this area. Okay, and on this side I took one golem with a bunch of whiz to take care of these buildings. Okay, so now I pretty much surrounded the whole base with troops, whether it be with golems and wizards and witches and heroes. So, you know, now this is the end result. Whole base has been overrun by a bunch of troops from all over the place, and my heroes, I don't even think they've been touched. I mean, that's what the whole game plan was about there. Overrun the base. I raged the king and healed the queen so that I can have him healed up. So that was that, guys. We'll just take a look at my troop composition. If you guys want to mimic something like that, it was 3 golems, 4 witches, 16 whiz, 9 wall breakers. You know, I got my heroes there. The 16 whiz was in, I think, also including my clan castle. That's what I had in there, which was probably like, I can take 30 troops, so that must have been like 7 whiz in there. Okay, so that's about it, guys. Alright, so what else we got here? Next one, we did thugs, we did mine, and then, okay, then I've got one on number 5, and then I have Isaac's on number 2. I was upset about this one, guys, because, you know, I didn't reach the king, and, you know, I wonder the what ifs. You know, could I have 3-starred? But we'll take a look at this here. This is what I was thinking, guys. 1 golem for this cluster of buildings, 1 golem for this cluster of buildings. Once I do that, then 1 golem to go into this middle where the mortar is at and the king is at, and hopefully get to these exposed and stuff. So that's what was going on through my mind. Back them up with some whiz and witches. I had 2 extra troops, so I used them on those corner buildings there because I didn't want my troops really to go around the base. So I start with the 2 golems first, guys, just like I did the last time. Just drop 2 and then force the other golem where I want him to go later. The bottom golem doesn't really go where I want him to go, but it's okay. I get the golems, the other 2 golems to go where I want them to go, and then finally get the middle golem to go in there. At least this bottom golem is at least taking care of, you know, distracting troops. Distracting that cannon, so that's fine. Here in the middle, I go to heal my troops because they got clan castle coming out, but the witches have skeletons coming at them, so that's what I like about that there, guys. That's what's really important to me is with GoWiWi, hopefully time it so that the skeletons are the ones that are fighting the clan castle. I heal the middle, guys, because that's where I have that expo, and that's where the tea hall is at, so that's what I want to take care of. I still got a golem to the left, he's still alive somehow. To the right, I've got some wizards in there, a couple of giant bombs I think take some out. But at this point, you know, I'm looking pretty good. I was aiming for a 2-star, so I was like, wow, I already got it. But right here, I forgot to raise the king. I was looking at the bottom, and, you know, unfortunately, the king went down, and I wasn't able to raise it. I wonder if I would have been able to raise him. Could that mean I would have been able to maybe 3-star the base with that extra armor that he had. Alright, so just fast forward a bit here. This bottom witch is just sending more and more troops, which is why I say I like GoWiWi versus GoWiWi. Sometimes just that extra amount of troops is all you need to keep the defenses distracted, and eventually that's what happens here. In fact, that actually kills the cannon. Alright, so it just shows there's strength in numbers, and you know that logic is being proven with this attack. But you know, I look back at over here and I'm thinking, man, had I had my king raged, could he have broken that wall and, you know, maybe got into that archer tower there? And then I would have had some witches over here taking care of these other buildings, you know, the what ifs, you know. But it didn't happen. Alright, so lesson learned, guys. Rage your damn king. Alright, so one more, guys. Isaac. And this was a really tough base. And he did a really good job. So definitely want to show what he did here when he actually decided to lure the castle. We figured that a lot of times they were using hounds, which is really strange, guys. I mean, that throws a curveball at you that you just don't expect. It's got a lot of armor. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it just has a lot of armor. So he's kind of smart, you know. He decides to get like a wizard to start going after it, because the wizards have pretty good defense or armor, and they cause quite a bit of damage. So that's a good way of dealing with it, guys. Once it breaks up there, you know, his queen is taking care of him. And then we'll just pause right here. You'll see he's got 3 different golems going into 3 different quadrants, and taking, you know, like a page out of my book in the sense of use the golems in front, let everything just attack those golems and bring your troops behind them, okay? That's what he does. Now, unfortunately, though, which is kind of a mistake, guys, and I don't think I've covered this before. When you're dropping a golem and you're trying to break the wall and he's in front of a wizard tower, it's not going to work, because like a strong wizard tower, since it does splash damage, it's also going to take down the wall breaker. So if you have it focused on if the wizard tower is focused on the golem, drop your wall breakers to the side of it, okay? And in the end, we look back, and again, he probably could have been able to 3-star had he had more wall breakers in the end, and you'll see that happen here, guys. But he's got, you know, he's got max golems, if I'm not mistaken, and he drops a jump spell, a really perfectly placed jump spell, which gets his troops to the middle, which is really important, guys. And you see that he just caused a lot of damage. In fact, we're going to slow it down here. So look at that. I mean, he's pretty much annihilated almost half the base. You know, he's at 40-something%, but you can see he's got enough troops to get to the 50% already. He's got his heroes in very good shape. Alright. He's got the T-Hall, which is obviously most important. If you're going to 2-star base, you got to get to that T-Hall regardless of what percentage you have. And you'll see here, the witches are bringing that power. The power of the witches, like I said. Strength in numbers, man. He's got his king over there at 9 o'clock. Yeah, Golemite's taking some hits over there. But if he had some extra wall breakers right here, he would have been able to get into this cluster of buildings with the Archer Tower. And that might have been able to get him to win. Not sure if it would have, guys, because he might have had some bombs there and stuff like that. But, you know, it could have been the deciding factor, is getting his king into that quadrant there. But either way, I mean, that's 2 stars on a very tough base, guys. So he used 2 max rage, 2 max heals. He had a level 1 jump spell. You see he has a pair of level 14 heroes, guys. He did bring the 3 golems and the 4 witches as well, a bunch of wizards, and his clan castle. Really good job on that one, guys, because we need 2 stars, especially against their number 2 player, guys. That was huge for us and really helped us out, guys. So looks like that's it, guys. You can see plenty of good examples to GoWiWi, Hog Raid, or Drag Raid, and we're gonna have another war tomorrow, and hopefully we win and bring you some more good videos, guys. Take care. Come to my clan if you are T-Hall 8+, non-rush, guys. Level 3 drags, level 3 hogs, and golems. That's a must, guys, and definitely non-rushed. We can use more players. Right now we're warring at 25. We want to get to war at 30. I think that's good enough. If we go a little bit to 35, I'll do it, but I want quality versus quantity, guys. That's the way we do it in our clan, and I think that's helping us out, guys. So till next time, guys, check out my other videos. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.